William of Orange, with some help from Oliver Cromwell, murdered a load of Catholics.
Yeah. In Ireland.
In Ireland.
When? Generally.
1786.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, I didn't mean to down to the minute. So yeah, not Maz's favorite day. This is the big day. This is when the parades start.
Yes.
Correct. So if you don't know what we're talking about, get in line. I didn't know any of this either until I met such a devout Irishman. The history is actually pretty remarkable.
It's actually the main reason why I never applied to NASA, because the pressure suits you wear on takeoff are orange.
Yep, made perfect sense.
That's actually a complete joke. Please don't take offense to that.
Or think he's serious, more to the point. Okay. Anyway, I have something else to say to you.
Oh, what's that, Tim?
Do you know what Thursday is? Besides the 14th of July? My brother's 40th birthday, by the way.
It's Bastille Day.
And Bastille Day. It is
my parents' wedding anniversary, if my dad was still alive.
It is our 2-year anniversary of Daily Dose.
No way. Damn.
2 years. 2 years. We started this thing on a complete and utter lark. And 2 years later, 358 or something, a lot of 350 somethings episodes later.
Many.
2 years. 2 years. So that's exciting. Okay, we're talking today about a dinner party that we had this weekend because our boy Quinn is home, and he asked to see a number of people. So we had 2 couples over Sunday night, and as is often the case, both couples arrived with a bottle of wine. But our friends Dan and Laura actually arrived with 2 bottles of wine, which I initially thought was very robust of them, and wow, okay, I guess they're planning on us all having a lot of wine tonight.
Spin tomorrow.
But one was a regular bottle of wine, and one was this bottle of wine. Oh, no.
There you go. You want to show them?
What do you want them to see?
That's it.
I don't know what I'm showing.
Where it says de-alcoholized.
Oh, okay. 2020 Cabernet Sauvignon premium de-alcoholized wine. So we had not had this.
No.
And they brought it so regularly, just like you would bring a bottle of wine. You know, when you bring a bottle of wine to someone's house, you don't have this presentation and it's very serious and you make this, thing. You just say, here, and it gets served or it doesn't get served. But in this case, they walked in and Dan said, here, we thought this might be nice for Maz.
Yeah.
And me, not me, himself. So I just thought it was really lovely.
It was a really lovely thing to do.
And it does exactly what we are always talking about doing, which is it just neutralized the situation. So then I started thinking, because I was talking with my friend Tanya, who's also the director of operations at the Arts Partnership, about all the various ways that people in our lives have found to normalize the fact that you don't drink. For instance, our friends Rod and Ellen pretty much just keep a 6-pack of non-alcoholic beer in their enormous refrigerator. They have a huge refrigerator, so they can, I think, pretty easily do that. That would be hard for us to keep a 6-pack of something because we have a tiny refrigerator. But they just have that because we're there a lot, and then it's just taken care of. Dan and Laura brought this wine. Other friends will often start with, to the whole group, all right, there's red wine, white wine, sparkling water, juice, blah, and they just lay out all the options as opposed to there's red wine, white wine, and Maz, for you, we have,
yes.
You
can drink with the dog down there in the corner.
Well, and some of it is that, just because people drink wine doesn't mean they don't also drink other things. I mean, it's not like this is a mug of wine, or that I don't have sparkling water, or that I don't have other things to drink, or that other people don't also. So this was really lovely. And I will say, this is far, far better.
It was a pleasant surprise to taste it, because
I can't even think what that other company is.
and
It's
this
an
was
old,
a long time ago,
yeah.
4 or 5 years ago. It wasn't that great, but
Oh, it was terrible.
they boiled so they made the wine, and then they boiled it to 80 degrees centigrade, because that's when the alcohol gets destroyed. So then you lose you lose quite a lot of the flavor, because you boiled it.
You end up with a sort of nail polish remover. It's really terrible. It's undrinkable, I think. I wonder what's happening there. But this actually tasted, I think, if you've ever had like a 100% cherry juice or pomegranate juice, you know, it's tart and a little bit drying in your mouth. This tasted basically like that, as opposed to sweet or bitter.
Yeah.
That other non-alcoholic stuff is really bitter. I wondered, because they only make two kinds. They make this, and they make, let me just pull it up quick. I think Chardonnay is the white. I, of course, won't be able to find this now. Yes, Chardonnay or Cabernet. So I wondered what you'd think of the Chardonnay. I would imagine that it's pretty oaky, because that is one of the qualities, certainly, of American Chardonnays. I say like I know a lot. But I would think that would lend itself to the flavor of a Chardonnay without the alcohol. So we should try it just to see if you're comfortable with it. How did you feel drinking wine? Because you always, sorry, just in case you don't know this, Maz always says that he's fine drinking non-alcoholic beer because he wasn't much of a beer drinker. He is not at all interested in trying alcohol-free whiskey, because that was his liquor of choice.
I would never even try that.
But you drank a fair amount of wine. So how did it feel to have a fake wine?
It was odd to start with, but I kept saying to myself, well, it's not alcoholic.
Now, just to be clear, there is a tiny trace of alcohol
in this. It actually says, it's got less than 0.5%, so it's below 0.0. Legally, they can't say it's alcohol free, because if you boiled a carrot in a pot of water, the chemical reactions would actually turn some of the sugars in that into an alcohol, so they can't say it's alcohol free, because it would show up if you tested it for alcohol. It might not actually be ethanol, which is drinking alcohol.
But it's certainly, like, you could drink 6 bottles of this and you wouldn't breathalyze with a bad amount of alcohol, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
And they went through a process called reverse osmosis with this, instead of boiling it, so it actually preserves a lot more of the flavors.
I put the link to their site in the notes. You can go to it and see. It's an interesting process of what they do. So thanks, Dan and Laura, for that, because that was really, really lovely. And I did think, actually, and if I can, I'll add this link so you can go back and watch it. But you might remember that a year and a half ago, we did winter non-alcoholic drinks. And we did this, sorry, I have something on my face is making me crazy. We did this Henry VIII port chocolate, hot chocolate, with very, very intense cherry juice. I think this actually would be really a great replacement for port, because it's kind of jammy like port. It was good. It was good. It wasn't incredible, but it was good. It was very drinkable.
Yeah. Well, what Tanya said too is a lot of people at your
So this is the sort of the second piece.
Your CSA parties are actually now, because Dana's been buying or having non-alcoholic beer as an alternative in the mix of
this is an arts partnership event.
People are actually going for, I'm only here for 2 hours. Oh, I'd like a bit. Oh, there's a non-alcoholic beer. That's lovely. And they just have been increasing occurrences of drinking that. So.
Yes, you started in the middle of that story, Dr. Mary. So just a little backstory. We have these 3 parties every year that we host for about 100 people. And we always have a really lovely wine tasting from Bernie's. Thanks, Bernie's. And I always had sparkling grape juice, because in the first years when my mom lived here, she bought a share into these parties. So I always did it for her. And then if anybody else wanted it, obviously they could have it. But what we noticed at the May party this year, because we provided quite a few options, so there were probably 4 different kinds of sparkling waters. There was non-alcoholic beer, there was sparkling grape juice, and we noticed that we went through way more non-alcoholic stuff than wine. And Tanya, again, my friend and director of operations, said to me yesterday when we were talking about what Dan and Laura had brought, that she thinks that some of that is just that Maz and I have so normalized not drinking and being comfortable not drinking alcohol that now people, because Tanya pours at these parties, so she's really having these interactions.
She's licensed to pour.
Yes, she is.
Sounds like a Bond movie.
It does. But she is feeling like people aren't doing this. I guess I'll just have a sparkling water and sort of being apologetic about it. They're actually saying, wow, great NA options. I'll have an NA, this, or this. So I guess the encouragement to you as you're thinking about your socialization is when you provide all kinds of options and when you just normalize it, you don't question why somebody's not drinking. You don't sort of give that judgmental, why would you have that? It's just there. You provide it the same way you'd provide anything else. It allows people to comfortably say, I'm going to have this, and it doesn't matter why. Dan drank the non-alcoholic wine. Now, we've talked about this before. We have a friend, John, who just, ever since he found out Maz was sober, has opted to drink no alcohol when they're together with us in solidarity with Maz.
Yeah,
I think
lovely.
He drinks alcohol every place else, and he just doesn't with Maz. I don't know why Dan had the non-alcoholic wine. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That's the point.
Yeah, because if you ask, you're kind of judging. So just, accept it.
Absolutely. I will also say, and maybe we'll put the link to this as well, because Quinn, obviously, we had Quinn sort of act as our bartender Sunday night, and he made a non-alcoholic seedlip drink with the garden, which is very cucumbery, and
Pineapple, right?
Pineapple juice, and lime juice, and fresh jalapeno slices, and you muddle all that together.
Damn, it was good.
Oh my gosh, it was amazing. So there's so many ways to just normalize not drinking and to have fun with it.
Yeah.
We've talked a lot about that, but these were really good examples. So I know that this Ariel was bought at Happy Harry's in Fargo. As far as I know, that's the only place that's selling it. But Bernie's is getting more and more non-alcoholic options all the time. Yeah. We push Bernie's because it's literally about 75 feet that way from our house.
And the owner
is great.
She was a former guest of ours.
Yes.
And she's a fantastic human being.
She is. So I think we're not the only people who are buying that, but it's clearly becoming more and more popular. Millennials and Gen Zers are drinking far less than any previous generation, which is a good thing, because it's just, we've got to get the numbers down of people who are dying of alcoholism. So I think that's everything, right?
Yeah, I got nothing else.
We'll see you on Thursday with a live guest and to celebrate our 2-year anniversary.
2 years.
Have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.